G'day chaps. Now what about that for music? What about that for visuals? And what about that for a little bit of an intro? I've got to say, I mean, this game has been rated highly, but not that highly. I mean, it's not blown anyone away. But I mean, I'm jumping into it. I'm kind of getting used to the game. I've sort of got used to the main mechanics now. And I thought I'd show you this little mission, and it's a low risk one. It's pretty simple. I'm in the early stages of the game, but yeah, it's a fun one. This is the kind of game that they've spent enough time on the atmosphere that it's actually a pleasure to be in it and play. And I'm not going to pretend it's a perfect game. It's you know, the first mission I had to sort of Google exactly what I was supposed to do because there weren't really any clues. But once you get into it, it's really quite simple. It's quite straightforward, but it's enjoyable. I can tell already that this is one that I'm going to be playing and enjoying. This is the sort of game you can kick back with and not take too seriously. And I think from reading the reviews, that's the real kicker to this game. You shouldn't be taking it too seriously. It's supposed to be just a romp through space. It's supposed to be a laugh. It's all a little bit slightly tongue-in-cheek, but it's good fun all the same. It's really, really good fun. Now, before I blab on too much, I'm going to say a very clear and heartfelt thank you to John Data. This is one of the subscribers on my channel, and he's very active in comments, and he actually gifted me this game, and you'll see his name at the end of this video, and all my videos actually, as an associate producer, because he has very, very generously gave me this game. Now back to what is going on here. So we have had another enemy frigate come in and attack us, and as you can start to see now, there's a little bit of difference to the mechanics of this game. So you have two main weapons, or at least I do at the moment. One of them is the sort of this one, which is to try and take down the fighters, and you can free control it like I tried to do then, but it's virtually impossible. So the auto aim is much better. And then you have these other broadsides. So they've kind of designed this. They've designed it like it's a ship, like it's a sail ship in the olden days of the days of exploration, the age of exploration, of the European powers. You'll also notice that your ship is only on a 2D plane. So even though you can look around in 3D, the actual game is really in 2D with you know, 3D sort of, yeah, 3D is a bit of a deception, really. It's not really 3D, it's just, it looks like it's 3D. So the combat is very much like you would be fighting a battleship. So if you played Naval Action, or if you played the ship battles in Total War, it's going to be that kind of thing. It's the broadsides that are going to do the most damage. Different from other actual sail ships, though, you can swivel these broadsides, as I'll show you here, so you can line them up quite nicely. And you've got control over how you actually line them up like that. Yeah, and so you have to kind of get your head around that a little bit, but it comes quite quickly. I've already upgraded my engine here so I can boost, and I'm quicker than this other ship, and that makes all the difference, because I can not only catch up this other ship, but then I can line myself up and fire off a few broadsides. You also have shields. Your shields are temporary, obviously, and they regenerate, but then you have another kind of what's it called? Deflector, that's it. And this deflector is only powered for a short time, but that's sort of designed to get you out of a hot spot. So if you're getting attacked from all sides and things are looking bleak, you can fire up this deflector, and that's like your get out of jail free card, essentially. This kind of reminds me of the X series, X3, with the slightly dodgy voice acting. It's obviously being made by a pretty small studio, but that's not a bad thing by any means. I read the reviews before I put this game on my wish list, and as long as you understand it for what it is, and that is, yeah, a game that's just supposed to be fun and atmospheric and good to look at and good to listen to, then there's a lot of fun to be had in this, I reckon. So I can see myself getting quite into this. Even the reviewer on IGN or GameSpot or another one, they said they found it a little bit clunky to start with, but 8 hours later they were still sort of wondering what was going on, because they were still playing the game and still enjoying the game. So yeah, I've only played a few hours, but yeah, I'm certainly enjoying it. Yeah, what else can I tell you? I'll read you just a little bit from what they say about themselves. So there isn't really much on Wikipedia or anything like that about the game, but I'll read you a little bit to sort of give you an idea of what the developers had in mind when they designed this game. I mean, it is beautiful. Look at that planet passing by. And actually swerve off slightly. So I don't go straight to this mission, I swerve off to it so we can have a look at the sun, the star, and take some screenshots for these this video, the thumbnail on YouTube. But yeah, I'll read this for you. This is pretty cool. Random universe. So Rebel Galaxy actually takes place in a massive, randomly generated universe filled with nebulae, junkyards, asteroid belts, and ice fields. This is where I do my screenshotting. There's one. So that means it's pretty replayable. No two star systems will ever look the same. Discover new trade routes, blah blah blah. You can hunt. You can also choose your path. So if you want to be a pirate, you can be a pirate. If you want to be a good guy, you can be a good guy. I'll read a little bit of a little bit else here. In Rebel Galaxy, you will interact with other ship captains. I'm starting to get into a little bit of trouble here. There's a missile. I'm getting ganged up on, and this is where I take some of them on. Yeah. So I'm trying out my deflector, because I know there are missiles coming. This is the deflector, so your ship kind of lights up like this. But my deflector's now down, and my normal shield is also down. It's really useful little thing. So I've still got some deflector, but that's gone. So it's basically time to get out of here, so I'm trying to boost away. So a little bit more, I'll get back to what I was saying. In Rebel Galaxy, you'll meet shady characters in even shadier station bars. You'll even have to bargain with inscrutable, tentacle-faced alien freaks. If you're silver-tongued, you might make a few friends, or at least temporary allies. Or you could make them beg, your call. Now, they say very clearly, this isn't a strategy game. This has been designed from the outset as spaceship combat action. It's not about clicking and issuing orders, so I think they're talking about EVE Online there. It's about feeling the concussion of a broadside blast and the impact of your deflectors as they absorb a particle beam meant for your shield generator. Yep, but then it goes on to say, but it does pay to think too. It's not only action around here. A shrewd player can take a very different approach. Hire a mercenary or two, set your turrets to custom AI stances and talk your way out of a scrap. I'll just dock here and I'll show you what the sort of mission system is like. So I've obviously finished the mission I was on, and you can this is where you can see that it's been made by a bit of an indie studio. It does actually look kind of like the X3 series, which is not necessarily a bad thing. There's nothing wrong with a bit of slightly dodgy voice acting and text, as long as you take it as, you know, a bit of fun. It's all good. Let's have a look at the yeah. So you got to repair your ship. That doesn't seem to take damage too quickly. And then you have equipment. So this is where you can upgrade your ship. So I add some flak cannons, and these are effective against fighters and missiles. So I just obviously taken quite a lot of fighter damage and taken a few missiles. So I made sure I added that, and that's all I can afford. I've already upgraded my ship fairly decently. It's as much as I can afford at the moment. And apart from this, I'm just going to have to kind of plow on and put a few more hours in. It does have a commodities market, which is pretty cool. So you can go and you can trade, and you know, it's completely open. You can go anywhere you want. Yeah. So yeah, I'll just show you the yeah, here we go. Show you the map here. So it is pretty big, and you can go anywhere at any time, and you might get in trouble, you might not. So yeah, I think I'll end it here. As always, thank you very much for watching. If you would like to get your name in the credits, like Mr. John Data did, yeah, consider Patreon. If you don't, that's all good. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Ciao for now, boys.